Nationwide on the NTA, I'm Naja'atu Tijani. The Petroleum Tanker Drivers Association, PTD, has suspended its planned strike action. A statement by the Group General Manager, Group Public Affairs Department of the NNPC, Garbadeen Mohammed, indicates this development is as a result of intensive engagement with the leadership of the PTD, NNPC officials and other government agencies. The statement also indicates that the NNPC appreciates the maturity and patriotism of the PTD leadership and reiterates its resolve to finding a quick and effective solution to the concerns raised by the PTD. Creating a secure and conducive learning environment for the education of the African child is the focus of the 2021 International Day of the African Child. Ngozi Silva Technico reports that the Ministers of Women Affairs and State for Education have outlined events to mark the day.
For the disadvantaged child, his place of survival is the streets, while the privileged few are groomed for future leadership. Education of the African child, especially the girl child, is key in bridging this widening gap. This rising statistics is raising concerns for action by the Ministry of Women Affairs and other development partners in the 2021 International Day of the African Child to prioritize education for all Nigerian children.
I like children to be attending school because education is very important.
I feel very happy by seeing the Minister of Education, the Minister of Human Affairs and all our role models, and I would like to be like them.
The policymakers are searching for the missing links through workable solutions to redefine the system and make formal and digital education accessible for all in line with this year's theme. Digital generation, digital revolution, our generation, not without girls.
The 2021 theme speaks to the need to amplify digital revolution.
I hope that after this work and engagement here, our children will be able to navigate further all our opportunities.
So we are trying to encourage the girl child so that we'll catch up with the trend, so that our girls will be at par with our male counterparts.
The discussion is expected to go beyond this hall to influence the lives of every African child on the streets and make knowledge compulsory and not optional. The day is marked every October 11th annually and will feature the girl child taking over the offices of the Minister of Women Affairs, Education and others for 1 hour. Ngozi Silva Technico, NTA News.
On the health scene, the World Health Organization Mental Health Action Plan has been extended to 2030 to provide new opportunities for progress since the world has missed the 2020 target. Director General Dr. Tedros Ghebreyesus says it calls for concern that despite the increasing need for mental health services during the COVID-19 pandemic, good intentions are not being met with investment. Basi Taipang reports.
World Health Organization's new mental health atlas paints a disappointing picture of the worldwide failure to provide people with mental health services they need at a time when the COVID-19 pandemic is highlighting a growing need for mental health support. The latest edition of the atlas, which includes data from 171 countries, provides a clear indication that the increased attention given to mental health in recent years is yet to result in a scale-up of quality mental services that is aligned with needs.
Close to 1 billion people are living with a mental disorder. 3 million people die every year from the harmful use of alcohol. And 1 person dies every 40 seconds by suicide. Yet, relatively few people have access to quality mental health services.
The WHO boss identified lack of progress in leadership, governance, and financing as pointers to the failure.
Stigma, discrimination, punitive legislation, and human rights abuses are still widespread.
The atlas is a compilation of data provided by countries around the world on mental health policies. It is also the mechanism for monitoring progress towards meeting the targets in WHO's Comprehensive Mental Health Action Plan. Basi Taipa, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the African Development Bank will be investing $3 billion to support Africa's pharmaceutical and vaccine production capacity to boost quality healthcare on the continent. The president of the bank, Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, confirmed this when he met with African ambassadors at the Chancery of the Embassy of the Republic of Congo in Washington. Justin Bemunyi reports.
The COVID-19 pandemic had made the challenge of development tougher, with 5 million Africans infected by the virus and more than 200,000 lives lost. Africa must learn some critical lessons from this experience, as the continent must not outsource the health security of its 1.3 billion people to the generosity and the benevolence of others.
And we must develop Africa's indigenous pharmaceutical capacity, industrial manufacturing capacity. Right now, Africa imports more than 80% of all the pharmaceutical products that we use on the continent. The second is we must develop Africa's vaccine manufacturing capacity on our continent, not only for COVID-19, but also for other things that will happen post-COVID-19. And finally, we must revamp Africa's quality healthcare.
The bank, he explained, had moved quickly, launching a $10 billion crisis response facility to provide fiscal support to countries, and going to the international capital markets to launch a $3 billion fight COVID-19 social bond. The African ambassadors showed enthusiastic support for the bank's agenda and commended Dr. Adesina for his leadership. Justin Bemunyi, NTA News.
Latest figures by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, confirm 137 new cases of COVID-19 as of 9th October 2021. A breakdown indicates that the cases are recorded in 8 states and the Federal Capital Territory, with Lagos having 46 cases, the FCT 35, Kaduna 20, Benue 13, Oyo 9, Kano and Rivers 6 cases each, Ekiti and Nasarawa 1 case each. The 137 new cases bring the total number of confirmed cases to 207,616. 195,132 have been discharged, while 2,745 deaths have been recorded. The federal government is collaborating with stakeholders in the health sector to bring health institutions back on track through passage of bills and implementation of policies which will address challenges in the sector. Ijeoma Ugoki reports.
The committee, led by the chairman, Dr. Ibrahim Yahya Olorebe, were on a fact-finding mission on developmental projects in the South-South and Southeast, especially those related to COVID. This is part of efforts to ensure all tertiary health institutions brace up to the challenge of emergencies. Impressed with the performance of the health sector during the COVID-19 pandemic, the committee chairman said the federal government allotted funds to improve services at health institutions. Hence the visit.
When COVID started, we had less than 300 ventilators in the country, and the oxygen usage or delivery of oxygen through ICU was very, very minimal. But I can tell you now, in all the hospitals in the country that are federally owned, we have what we have seen here in UBT.
The committee also visited the Dialysis and Bond Center, Mental Health and Drug Rehabilitation, Accident and Emergency Radiology Annex, as well as Molecular Lab for COVID tests. The senators also urged the management of UPTH to put more efforts towards maintenance of infrastructure and light up some areas in the hospital. In Port Harcourt, Ijeoma Ugoki, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari rejoices with the Bongbong Jos and Chairman Council of Chiefs and Emirs in Plateau State, His Royal Majesty Da Jacob Gang Buba, on the occasion of his 70th birthday. In a statement, President Buhari joins family, friends and the people of Jos in thanking God for bestowing benevolence on His Majesty in a lifetime of service as a public servant and later as a traditional ruler. The President thanks Bongbong Jos for serving his community with dignity and wisdom and his unwavering commitment to peace and stability in the state since ascending the throne of his fathers in 2009. He prays that the royal father's devotion to the unity of the country and passion to better the lives of those around him will continue to inspire generations to come. More stories on Nationwide as we join Adiola in our Lagos studio.
Najatu. Sometimes having the good intention of assisting family members, friends, or close acquaintances in the delivery of parcels to various destinations can go sour. It is also implicating where unsuspecting individuals who claim to be innocent are nabbed for being in possession of illicit drugs and harmful substances. Amaka Owo tells us more about this trend.
The war against illicit drugs and harmful substances by the federal government has been receiving commendations as collaborative efforts from various agencies continue to yield positive results. However, regulatory agencies also attest to the fact that there are reports of unsuspecting individuals who, in a bid to render assistance, have been nabbed with illicit drugs and harmful substances.
If an innocent person is arrested, caught with such parcels, we do take our time to investigate and ultimately ensure that the just does not suffer the punishment for the crime of another person.
The law is very clear. There are prohibited lists of items or articles. You're not supposed to indulge in carrying of illicit drugs. So ignorance is not an excuse.
Dispatch riders who courier various items within the city also confirm that they often fall victim of this ugly trend.
It's either because the vendor or his company has not verified vividly what the content is.
Considering the implicating consequences of a person alleged to be innocent and is falsely accused to be in possession of drugs, should people still render assistance to others out of trust and solidarity?
Naturally, you have to ask questions. The content and everything. You want to know better before you take the person.
Once a victim, I will say no, I won't. I won't assist.
If I am helping somebody to carry a consignment or to deliver a consignment, I should know that I'm doing it at my own risk.
I have to know. If it's giving me biro, I have to know that it's ink inside that biro or it's powder.
Nigerians are advised to always remain vigilant to avoid falling victim of such crimes. In Lagos, Amaka O, NTA News.
Ahead of the European Union commemoration of Anti-Human Trafficking Day this month, the Spanish government is working with some Nigerian movie producers to redirect sensitization on the illicit business and educate Nigerian youths on dangers of illegal migration. The project, funded by the European Union, is in collaboration with anti-human trafficking agencies in the country. Musa Toliat has details.
Trafficking has been described as the third most lucrative crime after illicit drugs and arms trafficking. More sensitization is, however, needed to stem the tide of human trafficking, especially in global communities where poverty is endemic. As part of efforts to sensitize Nigerian youths, the European Union and the Spanish government are turning to short film productions on illegal migration to commemorate the EU Anti-Human Trafficking Day.
This has to end. No, we see it from a closer and more realistic point of view. So I definitely think that with initiatives such as this one today, with our own organizations, through the European Union, through joint effort, in this case with the Nigerian government and the different Nigerian institutions, human trafficking will end one day.
Activation around the EU illegal migration and anti-human trafficking drive involves a film show organized by the Action Against Trafficking in Persons and Smuggling of Migrants in Nigeria.
Target population of, unfortunately, of this trafficking in persons and migrants, they are using the social media. So we believe that we should be there trying to spread a good message, or trying to sell to them, be careful with the trafficking because it's real.
The short films highlight the dangers of illegal migration and the possibilities of falling victim of illicit organ harvest activities.
These girls, when they ever make it, and you are illegal, you cannot go to the police. So they do whatever they like to you.
If the message is passed through movies, it will go around better. It can even go through the grassroots.
Human trafficking is not good. It is evil.
There was a panel of discussion to drive home the point on the need for more production of films against human trafficking and smuggling of migrants in the country. In Lagos, Musa Tolial, NTA News.
We'll take a break now, and when we return, it will be time for Obehi Otobo Apresai in Benin to give us news from her end.
Second phase of COVID-19 vaccination. If you are 18 years and above and unvaccinated, register at www.nphcda.com.
Welcome to Benin. The Federal Road Safety Corps 2021 Ember Months campaign has been flagged off in Benin City, Edo State. The Deputy Governor, Philip Shaibu, emphasized the need for strict adherence to safety rules by the motoring public as the state works towards a crash-free Yuletide. Paul Omokako has details.
Against the backdrop of 5,320 road crashes and 2,471 deaths recorded in the first half of the year from statistics released by the Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, key players in the road transport subsector restates the need for discipline on the part of motorists. They also want appropriate enforcement of the law against road traffic violators by the various traffic regulatory agencies in the country.
Among the cases of road crashes are impatient and reckless driving, drug abuse, excessive speeding, route violation, hostility among motorists, general disregard to road traffic regulation.
The mindset of the Federal Road Safety Corps here is for every road user to enjoy quality road experience while plying the highway during this period.
The Ember months are just like any other month of the year, that they should just exercise caution.
There were goodwill messages at the flag off with the team maintain safe speed, avoid night travels, and enjoy quality road experience. In Benin, Paul Mukago, NTA News.
And now to the Judiciary. Edo State Judiciary has launched a website for its multi-door court and online dispute resolution. The platform is to enhance access to justice by providing alternative mechanisms to supplement litigation in the resolution of disputes. Eugenia Ndubisi reports that the launch of the website and online dispute resolution platform is part of activities to mark the commencement of 2021-2022 legal year in Edo State. The report.
The Edo State Multi-Door Court is a court-connected alternative dispute resolution center which offers a retinue of dispute resolution services such as arbitration, mediation, conciliation, and negotiation with highly trained neutrals on standby to assist parties reach amicable resolution. It is also to ensure justice delivery through providing enhanced, timely, cost-effective and user-friendly access to justice. This is to enable members of the public to utilize the opportunity to amicably resolve their dispute at the comfort of their homes, especially at this time of COVID-19 pandemic.
Online dispute resolution is particularly well suited for commercial disputes because disputants can clearly elucidate their interests, giving the neutral a more lucid and speedier power to assisting them reach resolution and simultaneously enhance contract enforcement in Edo State.
Former Chief judges of the state took turns to deliver special goodwill messages in the landmark achievement, which is first of its kind in Nigeria. Hook up to resolve any dispute from anywhere in Nigeria and any part of the world by visiting www.edostatemultidoorcourt.org. In Benin, Eugenia Ndubisi, NTA News.
And that's it from Benin. Najatu in Abuja has a continuation of Nationwide.
Thanks for rejoining our Abuja Network studios. We're talking security now and related infrastructure constructed by the United Nations Regional Stabilization Facility in collaboration with the Borno State government at Banki Town for the enhancement of border security have been inaugurated and handed over to various organizations. Mohammed Goni reports.
Through the Regional Stabilization Facility, security outfits that include immigration and custom offices and staff quarters, as well as police community comprising the station and staff accommodation, were constructed to create enabling environment for security operatives to provide the needed protection, boost social and economic activities, and to entrench civil authorities, among others. Borno State government constructed border protection wall of about 5 kilometers separating the two neighboring countries.
So overall, impressive progress. A proof of concept that stabilization, as we have installed it, works. And it has also given us the confidence to go into a next phase where we will consolidate some of these gains and begin also to lay the foundations for more sustainable development.
We shall work with the UNDP through the regional stabilization facilities to ensure some of the important roads that are in a deplorable condition. We can still look at some of the roads, but I think Maiduguri to Bama Road is one of the biggest roads that we have, and federal government is doing all its effort.
Rest of the benefiting security organizations express gratitude to the UN facility and the Borno State government for creating a conducive working environment for their personnel and pledged to discharge their responsibilities in line with their mandates. The UN delegation, accompanied by Governor Bagana Umara, also inspected the 500 housing estate also being built through the Regional Stabilization Facility to resettle IDPs and other vulnerables in the area. From Banki in Bama local government, Mahmoud Goni, NTA News.
The chairman, Southeast Governors Forum and Ebonyi State Governor Chief David Umahi has announced a cash reward of 2 million naira for anyone who offers useful information which could lead to the arrest of those championing the cause of insecurity in the zone. Governor Umahi made this known while reacting to the killing of 2 policemen and 3 civilians by unknown gunmen at Onitsha local government area of Ebonyi State. Chika Okori reports.
Men on 7th of October invaded Isu, the council headquarters of Onitsha local government area of Ebonyi State, and killed 2 policemen on duty. Consequently, in a gun duel, 2 of the assailants were gunned down, while others, in a frantic move to flee the scene, snatched 2 vehicles and murdered the 3 occupants. While condemning the unfortunate incident, Ebonyi State Governor Chief David Umahi announced a cash sum of 2 million naira bounty for anyone who offers useful information that could lead to the arrest of those championing the cause of insecurity in the state, adding that his government is ready to rehabilitate and empower perpetrators of evil if they can turn a new leaf.
And every information leads to arrest of any killer. We have a reward, cash reward, and secret reward of not less than 2 million. Nobody is going to review your identity. Just tell us where these killers are that have refused to accept this amnesty.
The governor, however, charged every stakeholder to take the issue of security within their locality seriously or face punitive measures. Meanwhile, efforts made to speak to the police public relations officer, ASP Lovett's order, proved abortive, but press statements made available to NTA revealed that Ebonyi State Police Command Management Team has conducted on-the-spot assessment of the area and launched full investigation into the ugly incident. In Abakaliki, Chika Okore, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Joint Security Operation, codenamed Exercise Golden Dawn, established to boost security in Imo State ahead of the end-of-year festivities, has been flagged off in Orlu by Governor Hope Uzodinma. Bright Ebucho reports.
The sensitization on review of existing revenue allocation formula is geared towards engaging stakeholders at various levels with a view to getting useful inputs that can form a template to assist the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission in coming up with a fair and equitable revenue formula. According to the Federal Commissioner representing Imo and Abia states in the commission, the formula will be designed to meet the collective aspirations of Nigerians for a sustainable development.
In all, what we do will have to conform with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and your suggestions and submissions will help us produce a more acceptable new revenue allocation formula for our country, Nigeria.
Governor Hope Uzodinma, while flagging off the sensitization, stresses the need to take into cognizance environmental degradation faced mostly by oil-producing states.
We must have a legislation that will introduce fiscal discipline and bring a sense of ownership to the citizenry.
A Southeast Zonal public hearing on the revenue allocation review will also be held in Imo State. In Owerri, Bright Ebucho, NTA News.
And still on security, the police command in Adamawa State has confirmed an attack on one of its stations located in Gururi town of Yola South Local Government Area. Zamfara Hamza Amayu reports that no life was lost during the incident.
The unknown gunmen attacked the police station in the early hours of Sunday when they visited a house near the station and abducted a widow with her daughter. Through telephone conversation, the police public relations officer, DSP Suleiman Yahayanguroji, said the police are after the gunmen and soon they will make public the outcome of their investigations.
Actually, the attack was made on the police station and a particular house where the victim was kidnapped. And it was done simultaneously so that they can prevent police from at least reinforcing or preventing them from facilitating their intention. And at the same time, while the attack was ongoing at the police stations, another set of people were sporadically shooting into the air, and that was what resulted the kidnapping of the victim.
As of the time of filing in this report, no arrest was made, and people are going about their normal businesses in the town. In Yola, Tafawa, Hamza Mayo, NTA News.
Resident communities in Zamfara State have reaffirmed allegiance to the continued existence of the country as one indivisible entity. Community leaders took the position at a special interreligious prayer session seeking divine intervention against security challenges confronting Zamfara State and the nation as a whole. Jamilu Ibrahim reports.
The story of the ongoing military operation in Zamfara State, coupled with the security measures recently adopted by the government, has continued to build public confidence in the renewed commitment to achieving lasting peace in the state. The Resident Communities Forum in Zamfara State appreciates this fact at a special prayer session for divine intervention to consolidate on the success so far achieved in that regard.
Allahumma innaka aminu min kulli shay'in. You Lord will bring an end to the reign of terror in our land.
The community leaders who acknowledged the effort of President Muhammadu Buhari and Zamfara State Governor Bello Muhammad at curbing the insurgency and banditry reaffirmed their commitment to continue supporting the government towards achieving more peaceful and prosperous Nigeria.
There's need to support the government of the day with our prayers, and that is the main reason why this event is organized.
We have to come and seek the face of God, for God to forgive our sins and iniquities and give us peace.
Zamfara State government eulogizes the community leaders for organizing the special prayer session and charges them to continue to champion the cause of community policing in the state.
Unless and until all of us put hands together, there is no way the peace can be attained.
The Resident Communities Forum, which is an umbrella of various ethnic nationalities residing in Zamfara State, reiterates its allegiance to the continued existence of the country as one indivisible entity. In Gusau, Jamilu Ibrahim, NTA News.
Let's now join Suleiman in our Kaduna studios for more on Nationwide.
Jatu and welcome to Kaduna Network Center. Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development Mohammed Mahmoud Abubakar has ended a two-day facility tour of agricultural institutions in Kaduna State with renewed commitment to revitalizing the institutions for the actualization of the federal government's policy on the sector. Haruna Muhammad reports.
It is the minister's first visit to the institution since he assumed duty barely a month ago. He says the central store, workshop and institutions such as School of Pest Control remain critical to actualizing one of the core policies of the current administration of boosting agricultural production.
And we will do whatever we can to change some of the narratives. There are things that need to be corrected. There are things that are going well, we'll improve of those. Those that are not going well, we will do whatever it takes humanly possible to change them. We will seek the cooperation of everybody that has something to do with agric. We are here to collaborate with people all the way from the very top to the very bottom.
And for the management of the institutions, it is an opportunity to brief the minister firsthand on their potentials and challenges. The minister reassures them of federal government commitment to ensuring that institutions are up and running to guarantee food sufficiency in the country. In Kaduna, Haruna Muhammad, NTA News.
A broad-based project to reposition agricultural practices through result-yielding alternative approach to crop farming is signaling a prosperous future for farmers in Kano State, with owners of trial farms already excited over the prospects. Our Salis reports that the state government, through its agro-pastoral project, is targeting 450,000 farmers for the 5-year pilot takeoff period.
Tagged Agro-Pastoral Development Project, this is an initiative of Kano State government aimed at fast-tracking and multiplying the gains of agricultural revolution towards poverty reduction and strengthening food and nutrition security among especially vulnerable population in Kano. The project, with support of development partners, trains farmers across the 44 local government areas of the state on new farming techniques in selected agricultural value chains of rice, maize, millet, sorghum, and other leguminous crops. Farmers invited during visit to the project trial farms of sorghum and rice are full of appreciation for the successes recorded at the two sites.
I followed all the guidelines, and this is the result. I'm happy.
My rice farm is now top of the town. I believe many farmers will copy from me next coming season.
Other stakeholders expressed optimism that the project will not only help achieve food sustainability, but also enhance revenue generation.
It is time that Africa really achieves the aim of feeding her people. And this demonstration here shows that this can be done.
We are so sure large majority of them will go and adopt it and will as well have their livelihoods improved.
1,200,000 farmers are expected to directly or indirectly be integrated into the new approach to agricultural production at the end of the 5-year project. In Kano, Awal Salisu, NTA News.
With that report, Kemi in the Network Center is standing by for more reports after the break.
For example,
and a warm welcome to Ibadan. The 2021-2022 legal year Thanksgiving Mass has been held in Ibadan with a charge on all and sundry to uphold justice, as there can be no peace without justice. Grace Ayolike was at the St. Mary's Cathedral, venue of the Mass and public discourse of the National Association of Catholic Lawyers in Ibadan. Her report is here presented.
Applauding the lawyers on their strides in maintaining sanity in the polity, Metropolitan Archbishop of Ibadan, Most Reverend Gabriel Abegun in charge legal luminaries and other congregants to allow the fear of God be their guiding principle.
They are actually the ones who can pave way for us in the country to interpret the law
So the purpose of our unity, of our love, of our progress, our loyalty will to bring about justice, argue for the poor, argue for the needy, argue for the oppressed.
The mass featured Thanksgiving with bearing of gifts in gratitude for the new 2021-2022 legal year in Oyo State.
We have a long way to go, especially from the arm of the government, who most of the time do not obey court orders. It's a great thing of concern, because once the justice sector is undermined, then the life of the masses, the ordinary man on the street, is also undermined.
Each citizen has its own contribution to make. Each community has its own contribution to make, so that all those challenges would be minimized.
Our public discourse, which followed the mass, dwelt on the topic, the root causes of security challenges in Nigeria. It highlights on the various laws that guide humans to the supreme being and others that lay out human interactions with fellow citizens, concluding that refusal to obey these laws is an affront to social order and leads to chaos and disorder. It therefore calls on the leaders and citizens alike to abide by the statutes of the country.
Dispelling misconceptions and myths about COVID-19 as well as prevention of the disease among the vulnerable formed the basis of a town hall meeting by the Oyo State Emergency Operations Center. Correspondent Oyeyinka Omoli tells us more.
Data from the Oyo State Emergency Operations Center indicates that about 70% of COVID-19 deaths occur among the elderly. The center therefore put it upon itself to educate the elderly, patent medicine vendors, and officials of the Ministry of Education to reduce the trend.
We all know that they are the most vulnerable group, and we don't want our older ones to keep dying. So we all need to work together. That is what is happening in developed world.
And anytime we see anybody coming for malaria all the time, we need to refer such a person to the hospital so that he may be able to be tested.
As the fight against the third wave of the pandemic continues, organizers believe that they can't afford to lose guard in preventing the fourth wave.
So we need to pass message across to our people so that as we are winning this third wave, we will not have a fourth resurgence.
Still in a pandemic, so it's not every headache, diarrhea, loss of smell or taste, that is malaria. But now we also have to think of COVID.
The interactive meeting was an avenue for participants to share their experiences since the outbreak of the disease and the importance of maintaining safety protocols. In Ibadan, Oyeyinka Omole, NTA News.
And that's it from Ibadan. Nationwide continues with Najatu in Abuja.
Thank you, Kemi. Up next is Sports Update.
In golf, a handicap 25 player Mary Rose Richard Obioha is overall winner of the 2021 IBB International Golf and Country Club Ladies Close Golf Tournament, which ended on Saturday in Abuja. The winner, who is also the lady captain, grossed 197 with a net score of 148 to defeat 60 other competitors and win the title of the tournament now in its 21st edition.
The young ones to engage in the game of golf. It's quite exercising, it tasks your brain, it cautions you, and above all, it checks your integrity.
It was a well-played and well-competed tournament, and I'm happy to be one of the winners, winning in my category and also winning longest drive on day one.
Meanwhile, Tyson Fury extended his unbeaten run to 32 fights by knocking out Deontay Wilder in round 11 in Las Vegas.
I wanted Deontay Wilder, it got answered. If there's never been a doubt in the heart of Tyson Fury. But Christina, that guy, just a...
It was a great fight. I will not make any excuses. Wilder is a top fighter. He gave me a run for my money. I always say I am the best fighter in the world, and he is the second best, says Tyson Fury. In a related development, Cuba's Frank Sanchez delivered a comprehensive victory over Nigeria's Efe Ajagba to keep his WBC Continental American Heavyweight title. With sports update Manzi Marcus, NTA News.
And away from sports, Kano State Executive Council has approved an upward review of contract sum for the completion of a 5-kilometer dual carriageway in Warawa and Ungoko local government areas to the sum of 1.2 billion naira. The contracts were awarded in January 2019 at the cost of 598 million naira and 880 million naira respectively for the two councils. The State Commissioner for Information, Malam Muhammad Garba, who briefed newsmen in Kano, said the increase was as a result of unprecedented rise in the general process of construction materials, prices of construction material over the last 4 years. He explained further that the council has also given approval for the payment of differences of 238 million naira to incorporate all adjustments and additional works for the construction of 100 new houses and the upgrade of 50 others at the model village in Ganduje town of Dawakin Tofa local government. He said approval has also been given by the council for the payment of 95.3 million naira for the payment of compensation for properties affected in the construction of Muhammadu Buhari interchange at the NNPC mega station rotary intersection Hotoro along Maiduguri Road. So many approvals were also given for other infrastructural facilities across the state. The House of Representatives Committee on Aviation has restrained the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority from handing over Arik Airline to another company until the liabilities owed to all aviation agencies are addressed. This is the resolution of the committee during an investigative hearing on allegations surrounding the process. National Assembly correspondent Abdullahi Aminu reports.
Missions at the investigative hearing centered on allegations by the Association of Nigerian Aviation Professionals and the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria's branch of the National Union of Pensioners. They centered on a decision by the Assets Management Company of Nigeria to change the name of Arik Airline after acquiring its properties. This, according to the petitioners, will lead to abandonment of revenue.
We don't allow government money to just disappear like that. So it's not possible. We are going to meet as a committee, and when we're ready, we will invite people as soon as possible.
The chairman also said the committee will ensure that the aspect of liabilities is duly resolved with a 25% statutory remittance of the agencies to the consolidated account. From the National Assembly, Abdullahi Aminu, NTA News.
For almost 2 years since the disruption of flight operations due to the impact of COVID-19, the Kano International Airport, Enugu, has welcomed the return of Ethiopian Airlines, which started operations at the airport 8 years ago. The landing of the aircraft has signaled international passengers and cargo operations at the airport. Enugu is the 4th station of operation for Ethiopian Airlines in Nigeria. The return of the airline is expected to serve as a supply hub for goods and passengers going to major markets in the southeast. That concludes the news on NTA Nationwide. Thanks for watching, and do remember to keep standing with the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, against rape and rapists, and keep observing COVID-19 protocols. I'm Nacha Atutijani.